I'll hand over to Rhonda. She's got some more interesting information about Dr. Jereth Kok.
Everybody, don't forget, we can write letters to our local MPs and state MPs and local councillors rather, state MPs and federal MPs and the Prime Minister as well. Yeah, so don't forget that. And if you need help writing those letters, just come and see us. We have no problem with that. Okay, I'd like to talk today about a doctor in Australia, a medical doctor, and this information that we're sharing with you today comes from a Dr. Duncan Syme from the Australian Medical Professional Society. He's the president of that society. That's AMPS. You've heard about them in the paper, I'm sure. And this is the information that he's given about Dr. Jereth Kok. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I hope I get it right. Kok. Dr. Jereth Kok. He's a GP operating in Melbourne, or he was, but he's been suspended. And the suspension of Dr. Jereth Kok by the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency, we've heard about them, AHPRA. They're well in our memories with the all the COVID nonsense that went on. It stands as a warning, this suspension, to the entire medical profession. It may be only one doctor, but every one of them, every medical person needs to be aware that this can happen to them and probably will. So he was barred from practicing medicine since 2019. Not for any clinical misconduct. He's a really good doctor and he's been practicing for quite some time prior to this. Never had any issues with any of his patients. No reports of misconduct or harming anybody at all. But the crime he did was he made a series of private online posts, and they were made years ago. They were posts like "men can't be women" and things like that, his personal opinion. And this was from years ago. But in 2019, the AHPRA decided to ban him from his practicing because of these comments that he made on his private online posts. His clinical record was unblemished. He had no issues with his manner and how he treated his patients. He offered to remove the posts, but that didn't help. His suspension is based on complaints from an anonymous source or sources. So he doesn't even know who, and there probably isn't anybody. Anonymous is a very, very vague word, isn't it? We hear it all the time. But anonymous sources. He was subjected to a regulatory and legal process so slow and punitive it has destroyed his medical career. So 2019, and it's still happening today in 2025. The focus of this case should not be what Dr. Kok said. It should be how the regulator and the tribunal system operated against him, and what that says about the broader treatment of our health professionals in Australia. But I don't know about you, but I've often thought, why don't doctors stand up? You know, they know this is a crime against humanity. They know it's against our rights and freedoms, but they don't. They keep, even now, they're pushing the COVID jabs. Even now, even though they know all this information. So, in mid-2025, just this year, the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal, VCAT, delivered a 186-page judgment finding Dr. Kok guilty on approximately 2/3 of the allegations against him. But the flaws in the decisions are hard to ignore. The tribunal's reasoning sidelines Australia's implied constitutional freedom of political and religious expression and the Victorian Charter. It overrides basic civil liberties. And this is what we've been fighting for, and we will continue to fight for, because as they slowly and vigorously take them off us. So the profession itself is actually funding this regime. Doctors pay mandatory registration fees that are being used by AHPRA to wage legal battles against members of their own profession. So they're funding it themselves. A lot of money has been spent on litigation regarding a GP with no clinical complaints, this is Dr. Kok, in pursuit of policing private speech on his private online posts. And if AHPRA exhausts its legal budget, they have the option to increase registration fees. So, you know, if it runs over the money they have, they can just increase the fees for medical professionals to gain more money, to fight these cases. Meanwhile, the emotional toll of these investigations is absolutely devastating. You can imagine what these doctors go through. They study for years. They end up with a massive bill, and just because they had a comment of their own free will and of their own opinion, they get struck off or prohibited to be a professional person. Many health professionals report severe mental distress, and some have even taken their lives under the pressure of the prolonged dehumanising scrutiny that they are put under. So it's time to stand up. We're standing up for a lot of things lately, and I'm so proud of the people of Mackay. They come, they've been coming, and they'll continue to come. The followings we have just ourselves on our social media platforms has just grown exponentially. It's just amazing. It amazes us, and we thank you all for following us and finding out more information. But this is not just Dr. Kok's fight. It's not just the medical profession's fight. It's Australia people's fight. If the medical community remains silent while regulators punish dissent, suppress lawful opinion and operate without transparency or accountability, it opens the door to ideological enforcement masquerading as public safety, which we've all seen over the last 6 years. 6 years, it's unbelievable, isn't it? There must be urgent reform that includes independent oversight of AHPRA and medical tribunals, clear timelines for investigations and decisions, not carried on for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 years, abolition of anonymous ideological complaints without clinical basis, limits on the regulator's power to initiate expensive litigation, protection of lawful speech, especially in private or non-clinical settings, financial transparency in the use of registration fees, and support systems for practitioners under investigation. So the stakes are really high. We know that. The medical profession, a lot of them know that. The soul of the profession is ability to reason, dissent, question and speak freely is now under threat. We cannot let what happened to Dr. Kok happen again. It is time for doctors across all specialties to speak with one voice. Make yourselves heard. Okay? Thank you. Abolition of anonymous ideological I can't say the word.
Just start again.
Ideological
Start the
complaints
sentence again.
without clinical basis.
Sentence again if you get legged
I'll
up.
go back.
Right.
Okay. I'll see it. Ideological.
Ideological.
Okay.
I can't understand.